people don't understand when I say like the ways of the world are trash and that they want you to be trash with them. People don't understand like how much of trash, like the amount of being trashy that you are not. Like that you are not trash, but that you've had to survive off of the breadcrumbs of other people's trashiness, and that they're calling you trash, but you're the only thing that has value. Like that you've had to survive because of the ways of the world, and that when you complain about it, they just say, well, that's just how people are. Well, those are just the ways of the world, and that your parents had money, so we can take that one thing and we can say you survived because of that. But then you had to go and be abused to get where you were at. You had to go and be abused by another person in the hood. You had to go from abuse to abuse. And that everybody survived because when they were a kid, somebody took care of them. It's not like my grandma, where she had to survive with no parents and no help from anyone. Like, there used to be literally, like, kids that, like, were homeless. But now they're in some kind of foster care. So, I'm telling you right now that when you're a kid, it doesn't matter whether your parents have money or not. You still survived, okay? So, now you gotta go and you gotta live with somebody else that's gonna abuse you. Because if you were abused, you're gonna be abused again. And that there's nobody on this earth that's not going to abuse you until you raise a standard that could only be raised through God himself, that God would raise in you, because if nobody loved you, God will love you. And that love is what gives you the fire to fight for yourself. It gives you the fire so that they will be like, oh, whoa, I'm not going to touch her. I'm not going to touch her again because she's crazy, So the only way you can break out of the ways of this world is through the Lord. And that these people have already sold their souls to the devil and they're going to hell. And that the value in you is so much higher than the value in them. And that's not being judgmental. It's having discernment. Because I had to live with somebody who was abusive just to know that I could cook and that I could have talents. Just so I could get a job cooking. And like, if I hadn't, used people for a place to stay, for money, like how you have to use your parents because they don't love you. There's people, that don't really love you, but that you realize that we're in a hopeless world that's filled with nobody, and everybody has to sin. And then they're going to say, oh, let's